woke up to a video of protesters again in the street, blocking traffic, and then of course the news showing how crazy it is when drivers drive through them and stuff. But for the record, maybe because people don't know this stuff, that's not a protest. To actually be an actual protest, there's licenses and fees and designated times and areas, and that so mainly you can keep cars out of streets so that things like emergency vehicles, police, an ambulance with a dying child in the back, things along those lines are able to actually use the utilities. Secondly, it keeps some of these people out of neighborhoods with megaphones at 2 o'clock in the morning, because actually some of us work. Um, and, you know, those are kind of the rules that you have to follow if you have a protest point to make. Um, Along those lines, I didn't even think anarchists were like an actual real thing, and I kind of in a way think it's hysterical that they're organized. Because why? Um, but anarchists are actually showing up at some of these protests and smashing stuff. So they're kind of infiltrating both sides, which is kind of in a way hysterical. But actual anarchists, the little circle with the A. That shit was fucking great when I was like 14. But yeah, they're apparently infiltrating both sides protests, and then they break shit and create chaos, which is apparently their entire methodology. They want to bring it all down. But the joke is I've never met an anarchist ever, above the age of like 22, who was serious, who was also into throwing hands. Like they're usually like these pasty, pale, never been in a fist fight, wouldn't know what to do if they got punched in the face, but they think apparently they're gonna ascend and they don't need the government to protect them and they don't need police, and that's a whole other thing. But I think protests are great. I think they have a time and a place. I think there's a way to do it properly, which everyone is ignoring, but don't fucking do it in a goddamn street. And unfortunately, if you guys start breaking shit like bank windows and setting cars on fire and shit like that, um, that's a riot. And I hate to say it, there's also some bylaws you guys might want to look into concerning riots and how the police can deal with you. And they're totally allowed to shoot you. And so as a business owner, and as a business owner, I'm telling you, if you go throwing bricks through my windows and Molotovs and shit like that, you're going to get shot. And you deserve it. I guess as an aside to that, too, why would anyone want to wear a mask to a protest? Like, if you have a legitimate point and you're trying to get something across and trying to get people on your side, why would you need to wear a mask to do that? Like, that's the dumbest, most backward fucking thing I've ever heard. Like, if you have a clear, concise point, like, show your face. It shouldn't be anything to be ashamed of. Like, own it, and talk about your issue. But this should have, like, I wear a mask so that I don't get arrested. Well, you're not getting arrested unless you start throwing rocks at cops and fucking smashing windows. And if you do that, you totally deserve to get arrested and sprayed with a hose or maybe tased or eventually even possibly shot. So stop being a fucking asshole. Stop blocking roads. Thank you.